Boom. Headshot. It's probably not appropriate, but I had to open the video somehow. So, this is American Sniper. I finally got to see it. Thanks to the power of the internet, I was able to buy tickets online hours before the film started, so I didn't get sold out this time. And apparently it did sell out. Like, seriously, before we get into the review, can we just point out how much of a juggernaut this film has been? Like, selling out, I mean, it's a combination of the Oscar buzz, the fact that it's January and, like, nothing's out. I mean, Project Almanac came out this week, which doesn't look too bad. I mean, I've heard good things about it, but seriously, like, there's not much out there right now. So, yeah, this thing's, like, cleaning house, and, like, it's definitely gonna be number one this weekend. It might sell out next weekend. Sorry, just can never get the lights right. Sell it this weekend. I mean, I doubt Jupiter Ascending will overtake it, but yeah, just really happy for this film. So yeah, I finally got to see it, and yeah, it was great. Like, I'm definitely happy it's, like, getting all the Oscar buzz it is. I mean, like, even before, like, I had plans to, I didn't just see the movie because of the Oscar buzz. I mean, that was part of what motivated me to see it, but when I saw the trailer for this film months ago, like, it looked great. Like, it was, I mean, the trailer was mainly just a scene of him sniping while talking to his fun wife. I mean, can we just nitpick here? Why do you talk to your wife while you're in the middle of battle? I mean, that's probably the worst time. Apparently, multitasking is bad for you, but I digress. So, anyway, let's get into the review for all seriousness. I got so sidetracked. But anyway, American Sniper, Academy Award nominated film. It's another one of those, it's based on a true story films that's based on a novel, that's based on a real thing. And it follows the sniper who, I can't remember the name of him right off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but he's played by Bradley Cooper. He was this really talented sniper who served for the Marines. And keep in mind, I really don't know that much about the original source material, so I don't know how accurate it is, and I haven't read the book, unlike Unbroken. So, again, this is just me looking at it as a film, so, again, please feel free to point out any, like, inaccuracies or stuff. So, it focuses on Bradley Cooper. He's an American sniper. Hollywood seems to love titles with the name American name. And yeah, it's basically about his life. And when this film started, I initially was not that into it because it was playing out exactly the way Unbroken was. Like, we're in the middle of an action, it's a war movie, and then we're going to flash back to his childhood. There's a scene of him in the church, inspirational speeches. But this was Unbroken, but it was more or less a very similar film, except this was done right. Because for one thing, Unbroken, like, it kind of glosses over. It's funny, they both are about the same length, yet this one is so much better. I mean, for one thing, the fact is that whereas Unbroken, it sort of jumps back and forth with flashbacks. This, it just sort of flashes back and it stays there, so it's not jolting. And we actually spend a good amount of time in the flashbacks, so we really get to know how this guy became a sniper. We get to know him as a person, his morals, his values, like something that the main character in Unbroken we never got it. You get it in the book, but not in the movie. And also, they just show what happens after the war, like the climax, like where it's Unbroken. It, like, after the war they stop. American Sniper keeps going, so it's not like, oh, the big climactic battle and then text. No, we actually see the repercussions of the war. We see his recovery from all the events that happened. I mean, it's basically, basically Unbroken just had the middle and a bit of the beginning and almost none of the end, whereas this had a beginning, middle, and end. But even so, just on its own, it's great. Like, part of me is glad I saw Unbroken before this, just because they're very similar, and this is Unbroken done right. But even so, like, even on its own, it's still great. I mean, you have this really likable, relatable protagonist, and oh my gosh, the action scenes in this film are great. They are well shot. They're gritty. You feel like you're in the battle scenes, and they're really intense. Like, during all of them, I was, like, on the edge of my seat. I was going, like, they are just so intense. Like when he's on the sniper rifle, you really feel the moral dilemma of what he's going through. And that's another thing. This film isn't a Marines film patting itself on the back. Like, there is, like, the repercussions of war. It's showing, like, the traumatic psychological things that Bradley Cooper... Like, for as great as this sniper was, there were all this stuff he had to go through. And the surround sound was really good. Like, I normally don't pay attention to surround sound when I'm watching films, but this film, I could really hear it. Like, when the sniper rifle would go off, I'd hear the shot, and, like... I mean, okay, just to give you an idea of where I was in the theater, like... I was, like, in the back of the near the back of the theater on, like, the right side, on stage left side. So, like, I would hear the sniper rifle. I'd hear the shot behind me right there, and then I'd hear, like, the bullet whiz, and then I'd hear a whack over there, and it was, like, I've never paid that much attention to surround sound, but the way it was used here was great. Like, it just, oh my gosh, the sound was great, and the score was great. I mean... just really well done. Like, I can't really think of any problems with this film except, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could argue the American Sniper's a little too perfect, a little too... He's basically Captain America, the big, strong, heroic guy, but there is that vulnerability, like, when you see, like, the post-traumatic stress he's going through, the fact that his job is not easy and it's unpleasant when you start to think about it, the fact that he's killed all these people, the fact that he's had the lives that he potentially could have saved, the threats that the innocent people he may have killed. Like, but the only thing I could think of was that the film was a little too long. I mean, it felt really long. Like, it's 2 hours, but it feels really dense. Although, that's not entirely the film's fault, because before this, we got, like, 15, 20 minutes of trailers. I got, like, 7 trailers when I went to go see this film, which I'll talk about in a bit, but first, let me just sum up. So, yeah, American Sniper, it's a great film. Like, even if you just want to see a great film, you should go see American Sniper. I mean, like, it's getting all this great box office attention for a reason, and people are loving it. They're having a great time. Word of mouth's getting out. Like, even if you're not trying to do Oscar homework, if you just want to go see a great film, just go see this. I mean, it's fuck you, it's January month. And the fact that there is something great, something wonderful out there in theaters is just amazing. And yeah, I highly recommend you go check this film out. And yeah, it's like, I don't know, I doubt it'll win any Oscars, but I'll hang on, let me go check and see what it's nominated for real quick. But yeah, like, I'd highly recommend this film. Like, even if you aren't... Like, even if you aren't, like... I'm blanking out here, so... Best Picture, Screenplay... Definitely for sound mixing and editing, I feel like it should win. I mean, I'll talk more about the Oscar nominees later, but yeah. Go see this film. I'd highly recommend it. I mean, if you're under 21... find someone who can take you. I mean, find a friend, find your parents. I mean, when I went to the screening prep, most of the people in there were adults. Like, and there were a couple teenagers whose parents were with them. But this is a film you could sit down with your parents and watch. I mean, it's not like one of those shows or films like where it's like, yeah, this isn't exactly the best thing to watch. To watch with your parents. I mean, there's a bit of sex, a bit of nudity. I mean, the biggest thing that's got the R rating is the violence. But yeah, other than that, you should see it. And also, like, minor... I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, because it's based on a true event, and a good chunk of people are going to be familiar with it. But when the film ended, for reasons that if you're familiar with the story at all, you'll probably know what I'm talking... Or if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. When the film ended, there was this really uncomfortable silence. Like, everyone in the theater was quiet. Like, everyone was just not afraid to speak. There was maybe just a slight, tiny whisper, but no, everyone just was quiet. And it was very unsettling, and I've never seen that in a film before. And again, it's more just for the reasons of what happens in regards to this film's ending, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it was, it was just, it's really well made. It's just, again, it's not a problem. It's just something I want to point out. So I'm done talking about the movie, so you can stop watching here if you want. I'm just going to talk about the trailers I saw, so if you don't care about that, I won't. I don't blame you. So, as I mentioned before, I got like 7 trailers. It was like, must have been like 15, 20, 25 minutes worth of trailers. Oh my gosh. So, they need to put a limit on how many trailers. Like, the theater I go to, there's a local theater nearby where I saw like some of the Oscar nominees like Birdman and Whiplash. Like, they only showed like maybe 1 or 2 trailers. This, like, seriously, like, so, like, that's part of the reason why this movie felt so long, is because the trailers bring this up to 2.5 hours. And most of them are for movies I've already seen. Most of these are for movies that have nothing to do with American Sniper. Alright, so let's talk about them. The first one, it's some sort of aging movie. Woman, car crash, and she's young, stays thing. I mean, it looks interesting, but it also looks kind of depressing. And also, the trailer, I felt like it gave everything away. Like, it gives away this love interest. It gives away the... they kind of show the ending. Like, they think they're being clever and not showing, like, the ending, but I can clearly tell. Let me guess, she's going to feel guilty about staying young while everyone grows old, and she's going to give up her immortality or something. Or either that or her boyfriend's going, who they show in the trailer, is going to become immortal with her. Then there's One Night Run, which... another action movie starring Liam Neeson. I haven't seen any of them, but I'm just like, oh, come on. I mean, who knows, maybe it'll be great, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm sick of Liam Neeson just doing generic action movies. I mean, here we got Non-Stop, we got the Walk Among the Tombstones film, and I mean, this, seriously, we just are getting at it, Taken 3, which I keep hearing is terrible. I actually haven't seen the first Taken. I probably should. And Grey. Which, yeah. Same way. Looks like a father-son movie, I mean. I got the Avengers trailer. Surprisingly, they weren't showing the one that, like, aired, like, a week or 2 ago during one of the football games. But they just aired, like, the first one. And I'm not going to talk about it again because I've already talked about it in depth in a video you can watch. This was my first time seeing it on the big screen, though, like I saw it online. I've seen it several times online, more so than the other Marvel trailers, which I've only seen like once or twice. The Ant-Man Fantastic Four trailer. So it was cool to see it on the big screen. And I'll say this, out of all the trailers for Marvel superhero movies coming out this year, Avengers is the one I enjoy watching the most. I mean, that's not to say anything of the film. I mean, I have no idea how any of these superhero films are going to turn out, but as far as just getting me generally excited and interested in the film, Avengers is doing the best job, and it has a fun trailer. It's dark, but there's like a fun, exciting tone to it, whereas FF4 just looks dark and brooding, and Ant-Man generic, but there's that sense of fun. Like, seriously, like, I think I might have enjoyed the Ant-Man trailer more just because of the brightness and the fact that it's fun. Like, the line, is it too late to change the name, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much. It looks fun. I mean, I'm definitely going to be seeing it. And yeah, I just enjoy. I've seen that Avengers 2 trailer several times, so I really enjoy watching it. More so than the Force Awakens trailer, which, I mean, but that's a teaser. It doesn't give me anything. I got the Fast and Furious 7 trailer. This is like the 3rd time I've seen it. The other 2 times I got it was during Mockingjay and Hobbit 3. I'm done. I'm not done, but it just looks meh. Although I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, so who knows, maybe these films are wonderful, because a lot of people seem to come out for them, even though they're 7th. And it's the last Paul Walker film. Got the Mad Max trailer. I actually saw the original Mad Max. It was alright. Fun, dumb action movie. This looks like more of it, except with way better visuals, although I'm not too big on action shock, except for Pacific Rim, which was awesome as far as action, but really blah in terms of everything else. I got the trailer for Chappie again. This feels like Elysium, just with a slightly more interesting protagonist, Chappie. And again, trailers giving everything away. I need to see District 9. I keep hearing that one's good, although some people say it sucks. And I got another Kingsman trailer. The film actually looks quite fun. It's just I feel like the trailer gave practically the entire film away. And that's all I have to say on American Sniper. Again, great film. Check it out. Just, again, worst part was just sitting through those 7 or 8 trailers. And there's going to be, I'm working on a written review. It should be up within like 10 to 15 minutes after this uploads. And yeah, I don't have that much to say. Go see this film if you haven't already. Like, try to find someone who's of age, although they didn't, surprisingly at the theater I went to, they didn't check my ID. I mean, I bought the tickets online, but even so, I'm surprised I didn't have to give any ID or, maybe, oh wait, maybe my credit, oh right, maybe my debit credit card has my ID on, my birth date on there, but even so, like I went to see Prisoners at that theater, and they didn't, that was rated R, and they didn't check my ID. I'm like, oh yeah, it's rated R. So yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more time. I might record an Adventure Time blog either today, tomorrow, and I might see Foxcatcher. It depends on what I have going on, and also if I feel like braving the elements, because the theater I see like the Oscar and the smaller releases at is like a couple blocks away from where it's within walking distance, and it's really cold outside, so I may or may not. Again, we'll see. But yeah, oh yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, I'll talk about the trailers, but I doubt I'm going to have anything to say about them. And also, if you're wondering about Powerpuff Girls vlogs, I'm really sorry. I don't do the, I'm just so busy with all this other stuff. I'm not. Oh yeah, and also I'm probably going to do, at some point this week, I'm going to talk about how I felt about the first half of Walking Dead Season 5. And that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. So yeah, please leave your thoughts in the comments below, like, dislike, and subscribe. And this is JStar360 signing out, and hopefully at some point I'll get my sunglasses back. Until then, take care.